Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the Euro USD. But before we get started to break down this Forex pair, we have to say this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Okay? Now, with that out the way, let's go ahead and break down this currency pair because we all know why you guys are here to improve your ability as a trader with good, credible Forex information and help put some money in your pocket. Now, you know at Black Forex, what we're going to do before we get to actually talk about what's happening on the chart, we're always going to discuss the fundamentals, what is going on with the euro and what is going on with the USD. Okay? Now, the euro, we'll talk about that first since we're practically explaining the USD on every video, but that's okay. The euro is still remains one of our weaker currencies heading into this trading week. And had some very poor economic news that came out about the euro the last part of the trading weeks, and it does not look like the people that is the members of the EU that's in charge of the overall economic policies and measures for the entire EU have a decisive plan to combat the inflation that's being suffered from the countries that make up the EU. So we have that in play, and then also we're starting to have a negative ripple effect, reverse negative ripple effect on the EU from the sanctions that it did place against Russia. These sanctions seem to be negatively affecting the countries that make up the EU, then it's actually negatively affecting Russia because Russia, prior to this whole incident, still remains one of its closest and most vital trading partners for raw goods such as oil, lumber, and rubber. Okay. And also, too, we have a lot of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt surrounding the entire European economy due to the war that's being fought on the European continent between Russia and Ukraine. So until we get a ceasefire in that war or some type of reports of peace talks that's going in a positive direction, we're going to still see weakness for the euro for that for the term that the war is going to be fought. And once we start to get some ceasefire talks, and it seems like these talks are going very positive, we're going to see a lot of strength pick up between the major three European currencies, which is the euro, the British pound, and the CHF. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's talk about what's happening on the charts. Okay. Now, we did have a very aggressive drop as soon as the war began going into the war, and then we did have some aggressive push ups of retracement. But as we can see, this is not going up as aggressively or a lot of momentum as much as this went and came and brought it down. Okay. So with that being said, it still looks like that we're more so on the sales side with just some aggressive retracement coming up. Now we did have an initial drop in price at the opening of the trading week, with us picking up, starting to pick up price again. But we could probably get as far as here or even here before prices start rolling back over again. Okay. So let's go over that one more time. We could pick up to about here or even here, this area here, before price range out and go back over again. Now, like I said, we're not in a situation, as I said, with previous currencies concerning the USD, we're not in a situation in which we're dealing with a currency that's stronger than the other. We're more so dealing with a situation of which currency is weaker than the other. And we can safely say that the euro is weaker than we can safely say that at this present time, the USD is acting as the weaker one, but we're going to have to see how the economic policies to combat the high inflation rate is going to pick up. Okay, but we have a battle between two weaker currencies. Okay, so basically, it's not about which one is stronger. It's more so about whichever one is weaker. Okay, so like I said, we could start to range out here, go down, pick up to this area here, range out, go down, or we can get to this area here, start ranging out and going down towards the downside. Now, if the USD starts to become much weaker than the euro, then we can have a push up towards the long position. But we're going to have to see how that kind of play out, especially with the Feds basically saying they're going to do everything they can to combat this inflation. So anything that they say or any policies that they may put in will have like jolts of strength for the USD. So we're going to have to watch how that play out as well. Okay, but you could have an initial pick up here or pick up here before price starts to turn back over on you. So you're gonna want to watch that. Me, I don't like to kind of trade with positions that can probably be a narrow take profit. I like to more so go with the when the fundamental slides because you can actually gain more pips like that. Okay. So I'll be looking for the push up here in the range, and then once it starts to go down again, placing my short position. Because as I said, this market structure does not look too promising. Okay. Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.